any other platform, that's your thing. I mean, you can go to Kickstarter, Indiegogo. You can run multiple campaigns on multiple crowdfunding platforms if you want to. What we're doing, and it sounds like see, this sinks from the standpoint of your being focused on Washington, D.C. as a geography, kind of using that as a competitive advantage with respect to your product, right?
Sure.
Now that's unique, and that fits in with what the DC government wants to do, what we want to do, what you want to do, so everybody's happy,
Right.
So just figuring out a way to use that to enhance the probability of success of your crowdfunding campaign is kind of where we come in, I guess,
Okay.
as I think about it. And then we'll have to talk, and we'll have to strategize about all of this, do you wait for the D-Challenge platform to be up and running? Do you wait for the campaign challenge contest type of thing? My suggestion off the top of my head, now I have to take a look at it, is that you don't. I mean, you look at all of the crowdfunding platforms that are out there. Maybe you go with D-Challenge, maybe not. Maybe you do Kickstarter, because Kickstarter is well established. They do, maybe you link it back to D-Challenge or link back to the geography. We'll have to think about that, because it's a strategic question. Does it pay to have that strategic focus, and how do you actually use that to energize your crowdfunding campaign?
Sure.
Given your ties to the community, it seems to me that, we were talking about social validation and social assets, and a lot of your social assets are based in Washington, D.C. So if you can combine a unique product with a unique guy, with a unique crowdfunding platform, with a unique geography, that means more success than going to Kickstarter or something like that. So we kind of have to think about all that. But you have all of the pieces that are in place. You've got the financials, you've got the product, you've got the industry knowledge, you've got the name in the industry, right? So again, what you want to do is you want to sell this uniquely through crowdfunding. People can't buy it in the store now anyway, so you want to use that as a competitive advantage. The other thing I like is that you've got time. You're not looking to do this tomorrow, you want to sit down, if you're a numbers guy, so you want to kind of run the numbers and do everything right. And
We want to do it right. I got a lot of people counting on it.
You got a lot of people counting.
And that's it. And also, if I can chime in real quick, that's one of the big components of a successful crowdfunding campaign is that pre-launch, being prepped and ready with the videos or with the right rewards and building your base up before you launch. We have what we call a pre-launch. Most of the campaigns that have been successful, if they had a good pre-launch, the videos in place and a couple of demonstrations, things of that
I was
nature.
telling you, I went out to this thread event at Union Market, and they figured, all right, there were bicycles, we'll put them outside, and all the fashion people were inside, and I was the only one outside with like a giant chessboard in the parking lot. And it was cold and windy, but it got the attention of a director of Vanity Fair magazine, and she was there at the booth snapping photos, and gave me your contact info, said let's connect on this.
That's great.
Also, Momentum magazine, which is huge in the bicycle industry. They represent the most growing segment of the industry, which is the urban cyclist. Had somebody there who said he wanted to do a review on the bikes. So that was all about the pre-launch. And the one thing I learned studying about crowdfunding is that you have to do your homework before you take it to the platform.
To the masses.
The other issue for you is going to be fulfillment, the fulfillment risk. Now, at $80,000, how many bikes is that? How many bikes have you sold?
That gets me the equipment and the facilities and the people to produce 25 bikes.
25 bucks, okay. So what do you do if you get orders for 1,000 bikes through your crowdfunding campaign? As in Pebble Watch, right? They got $10 million, so...
It's fairly easy to ramp up.
Okay.
It's the same machinery, it's just training more people.
So you just have to think about that. Both the downside, what do you do if you only get enough to make 10 bikes? And then what do you do if you get far more than you anticipate? You get like orders for 1,000 bikes. That can be done, but it takes some managing, and that's why the Pebble Watch campaign is instructive, to see how they dealt with that. Because what they did was they just said, hey, holy moly, this thing is really taken off. We were taken by surprise by that. Honesty, and people are like, okay, all right, we get it. It's a great product, so give us a little time, but we will fulfill every order. And they did,
So I've got an ace up my sleeve in that regard, because the fellow who I learned from out in Colorado has said that he would come out here, he would help me set up shop. And back in the day, he and 2 other people used to produce 110 frames per week for Specialized.
Okay, so
On
you
the stump jumper.
you've thought about all of those risks too, the fulfillment risk, the downside risk, all of those sorts of things. And it's just a question of pulling that all together, putting that in language, and doing the video assets and some of the other things that you need in order to show your story and kind of energize people and get it in. What's going to happen is your initial supporters, your initial purchasers are going to be bike guys, right?
Right.
You're going to be bike people, but you know them all. And they know you, right?
Right.
So that's the great thing about it. And they're going to say, man, this guy makes Porsche bikes, okay? And you can only get it from him, and you can only get it on Kickstarter. That's gold. I mean, that is absolutely gold. So no, I see everything is kind of lined up pretty well. I mean, this is like a no-brainer. Now, what was your connection to Paulina and DC government? How did that all happen?
About a year ago, my council member, Tommy Wells,
Tommy Wells, okay.
was contacted by someone who was interested in making bikes, and I was a friend of Tommy's at that point. We had talked and we were on a friendly basis.
Gotcha.
And I told him about my vision for DC for actually making bikes here one day, and he loved the idea. And he put the guy in contact with me who contacted him. And nothing really happened from that. I wrote an email back to the guy saying, yeah, sure, great to have the contact. Please get back to me. Let me know what you're thinking. Happy to talk. Right? So then, like 9-10 months later, I heard back from him. His name's Clayton Witt. Works for the Department of Employment
All right.
Services.
Well, that's the Clayton Witt.
That was the Clayton with the week's on the, I saw it, like CC on the.
Yeah, the
And,
email we got
he,
was Clayton Witt
Okay.
wants to make bikes, but that was
Then we got deeper, it said Eric, right?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, so he put me in contact with the Washington Economic Development Council.
Gotcha.
And just started introducing me to people that he knew, because he really wants to see something like this take off too. He wants to see jobs created in manufacturing,
Right.
and it's sort of a personal mission of his. And then he mentioned in one of those meetings, or somebody mentioned that they knew Paulina, and she was a crowdfunding expert. So I said, okay, well, introduce me to your crowdfunding person, please. I'm at that stage. I've done everything I need to have in place to now talk with this person confidently. And then she introduced me to you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, very good.
I think that's probably our follow-up, part of it, what I had prepared side is authentication and validation, but we've already covered a lot of that. You are who you say you are, and we believe that you can produce that.
And
now we're going to need to.
You can make a bike.
Right. He has the background.
Because you have it right here. So I mean,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
that's
And I've been
So-
testing it.
that's half the battle right there.
You made it here. So next, we maybe in the very near future we can take a deeper dive into your campaign, and actually put it on paper and say, find out more about your financials, more about where you want to be located. I like that idea about the union market. I like that union market area. That's a fantastic opportunity there. It's close to the NOMA, where you're going to see a lot of bikers.
We're trying to make that like a maker area. We're
Yeah.
trying to do something unique there. So we seem to fit right into that.
Right, and
Just hope
then
they don't see, a lot of people have, for one reason or another, they don't like bicycles because they take up the road space or whatever it is. And I just hope that they can see beyond that.
Yeah. You're always going to have your people that maybe not as supportive, but I guess in the next meeting we can talk about some of the success strategies and what just really map it out. What do we need to do first? What do we do next, and prepare for that. And like Bill said, if we sit down, if our follow-up is, we're 90% of the way there, and things aren't quite ready for the DC challenge, then maybe we'll look at going in a different direction. If you're ready to move, but if things are ready for the challenge and you see yourself being a part of that, which we would love, then I think it's going to be fun. I think with this new space, with the synergy that's coming from the DC government to support new small business ventures in Washington DC, you're exactly that.
Are you seeing a movement in the DC government in that direction?
Yes, we are. With the another lady that's a colleague of Paulina, she's head of DC Tech, piece, and one of the things I remember her mentioning is that we have a lot of talent here in Washington D.C., but we're losing to Maryland, Virginia, and other areas, California, overseas, wherever. We need to retain some of this talent. We have 19 colleges and universities right here in the district. 19. You know how many graduations are going to occur in the next 30 days?
Sure.
Let's keep some of those folks. So what can we do to keep those small entrepreneurs space like this? What can we do? What more can we do to make sure that they're successful crowdfunding campaigns? Because these crowdfunding campaigns are dealing with these smaller dollar amounts. We're not talking about the $1 million, $2 million projects that venture capitalists want to look at. We're talking about the $50,000 to $80,000, $120,000 projects that are businesses that need to get started, that are going to stay here in DC, that are going to hire DC residents, or hire new jobs and new tax revenue. Right? So yeah, I think it fits well in what we're doing. So yeah, let's move forward on this. After we'll probably have a debrief, amongst ourselves. I don't know if you have any more questions about crowdfunding and what we offer or where we're going to.
Well, shoot, can I keep the book?
Do we have any more copies of the book? I think that is, we
Yeah,
got to order
probably,
books,
yeah.
we got to order books, but we'll make sure you get one.
We'll get you one.
We'll make sure you get one.
We'll get you one. One of the things that we are putting together is our social capital. We are looking for 2,000 supporters right now. This is our goal for our mission now, is that we're looking for 2,000 like-minded supporters here in Washington, D.C.
Oh, nice.
To all say, hey, look, yeah, if Henry, if you guys come up with our National Crowdfunding Service, if you guys come up with a great campaign, something that I like, yeah, I'll contribute, $200, $300, $400. Now yours is a little bit different because it's reward based, but still, we'll have a database of people that are already familiar with crowdfunding. They know how it works, and we hope to have a pool of a couple $100,000. And so, along with your social network, this is where these are some of the assets that we're bringing on these DC challenges, bringing to the table.
So I apologize. I haven't checked out your social media, but do you guys, you're on Twitter and Facebook?
Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, yeah, we're all there. So I'll
Under a number of different forums. I mean, Black crowdfunding is kind of where we started, but we're moving to the D Challenge.